Hey y'all, this is a quick recording of how to record a VSL, right? So this is just how to film it, not so much how to write the content. So just based on what you're seeing from me, what you're hearing from me right now, I'm trying to use my hands a lot, and I'm trying to just be fairly articulate and confident about what I'm talking about. And what you're seeing right now is a lot more polished than what it looked like when I did my first VSL. It was terrible. It was very stiff. This one is much more off the cuff. And the more you can sort of get accustomed to A, talking on camera, and B, talking about the specific subject matter that you're talking about, the better your VSL is just going to seem, right? Because, yes, it's a video sales letter and you are trying to be, you are trying to sell something here, right? Like that's the point, but it shouldn't really come off as too salesy. It should just be a targeted thing, which is like, hey, do you need help with this thing, right? And if your targeting is good and your funnel is good, then you need help with this thing becomes, yeah, I need help with this thing, right? And you're just trying to convey that. And the more naturally you can convey that, assuming, you can do the thing that you're saying you can do for these people, the better it'll come out. So I am adjusting my camera angle a little bit to get it kind of right. So I'm going to show you what my screen fully currently looks like. What you're seeing right now is what I want you to see, which is my face on about a third of the screen, and then my one window that I have open on another third. On the rest of the screen. But this is what is on my screen right now. This is my full window screen. I have a big widescreen monitor. So I've got my my web browser over here with my Google Slides. And I've got OBS. So OBS is what I'm using to record this. And essentially all I did was inside of OBS. Actually, I guess I have to show it to you in here. Inside of OBS, right, I created a third of my screen, right? So like if you look in the back there, I'm just putting this as an overlay, but if you look in the back here of the OBS section, right, this whole thing is what you were seeing before, right? So if I drag that off, you start seeing this. This is my actual screen. And essentially what I did was I created a video capture, which is capturing my actual video that's hooked up to my computer. So you can use a webcam, you can use whatever. I'm using a DSLR, but I just had one, so I used it. Webcam is just fine. Get like a decent quality one, right? Spend like, I don't know, $70-$80 on it. But yeah, you can use a webcam, and you go in, you can look up a OBS, tutorial, but essentially all you do is you go in, you create the video capture, and then you have the video, and then you just want to crop it down to this size. So if I hold down Alt on Windows, I believe it's maybe Command on Mac, it lets me resize the it lets me crop the video, right? This is not just resizing it, because if I don't hold Alt, it just makes the whole thing bigger, right? And it preserves the ratio. But if I hold Alt, it lets me resize it, which is cool, because that way you can make your face about a third, and you don't have to do it this way. This one, honestly, I think is a little bit more annoying than just using Loom. If you just get a free plan on Loom, I think you can record I don't know if there's a limit on the size of the video, but Loom works really well, honestly. But if you want to use something totally free and you don't need to do any signups, OBS, right? Open source, great software, lots of tutorials and stuff for it. It is a little bit complex, but it lets you do stuff like this. So set about 1/3 of your screen as your face, and the rest of it as a window. So for the window capture, I just did a window capture, and then I resized that in the exact same way, and you can see that this is actually over top of that because you can right click and then you go order and you can move it to the top. So you want this to be at the top, you want that to be behind it. And then you just resize it to whatever makes sense. And that's essentially it. The other part is obviously the audio input capture. So I have a microphone, as you can see here. And I've just got it pulled up. So I'm going to get rid of this screen because that's not what I want you to see. That was just to kind of show you that this is what it looks like. So now that you've seen that, what we want to do is actually show you how to set up the VSL, right? So the more familiar you are with what you're selling, what you do, being on camera, talking about it, that sort of stuff, the less you really need a document like this. But a document always helps. It's something to go off of. It's like essentially you're given a presentation, right? And you know, you can do Gamma docs, you can do all sorts of fancy stuff. I like a good old Google slide or even just a Google document, right? So with the Google slide, I'm just creating a brand new presentation. Let's call it VSL demo. Demo. Okay, there we go. VSL demo. And now here's the thing. I don't think we're going to need the subtitles. Or maybe we are. It doesn't really matter, right? What you want is on each slide, you want a little bit of text, right? You want a couple of lines of text. How to film a VSL, right? You want it to be centered. You want all the content to be centered. And honestly, you could you could show all of this as I'm doing it right now. You could just do it that way. You can just have a Google Doc and just do it that way. So let me actually pop this out. Google Docs. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to bring it back. Cool. So I brought it back. This is just a Google Doc, a brand new Google Doc I created. And you could literally just have this screen, right? You probably wouldn't want to show that, but you could. It doesn't really matter. And then you could have like how to film a VSL. And you'd want to go in and you'd want to do like size 20 or something. Maybe like size 50. Maybe a bit less. Let's do 40. Right? I think that's pretty good. Hide that. And we would want to just... Essentially, you'd want to write up a document, right? You can have AI write it up, whatever. You'd want to make sure the content itself is good, but you'd want to write up a document with like big readable text. So, you know, like 40, 50 sized headers, and then at least probably 20, 30 sized text, right? So let's go. I don't know how to film a VSL. Chapters, chapter 1. Actually, no. Table of contents. Or let's call it, you will learn how to set up table of contents. Sorry, no. You will learn in this video. You will learn. Let's reduce the size of this to 30. A lot less, but it's good. In this video, you will learn how to set up OBS VSL capture, how to set up a Google Doc or slides for displaying your VSL contents, and then I don't know, whatever else that you want to show, right? I'm just doing this as a proof of concept, not as a VSL. If you were actually doing a VSL, you would have this written out and this would be good, right? The purpose of this video isn't to show you how to write this. It's more to talk about how to film it and how to present well inside of it. So you don't want to use your hands. I'm not great at it, especially in this configuration. There's a mic here, which I have to be considerate of, and then it's also pretty limited. So like if I move my hands around here, you only see one hand, but this other hand's actually going, and then I have to bring it like around here, which is like, it's such a small piece, but I guess I need to try and talk to you with my hands. So stick to one, stick to two, I don't know, it doesn't really matter. Just try and be natural, try and be confident, and try to know what you're talking about, and that way it'll come across pretty well. And you know, do it when you're feeling pretty good about it. So it could look like this, and you could literally just scroll through. Just make it very readable. Make it like readability and simplicity is everything, right? So have like, I wouldn't even do this. I wouldn't even do this. I would be like, right? Like you want these gaps. You will learn, and then maybe I'll do 1, right? 2. Okay, come on, man. Why is it this far out? Oh, that's very annoying. 1. There we go. Boom. See? How to set up OBS. VSL capture. Or let's just call it how to set up OBS. And if I was doing a much more comprehensive video, I would show you literally step by step, A to Z of each of these things. So if you want to see that, I could totally make that for you. It just depends on if you guys, you know, if somebody actually wants to see it, happy to help out. I don't have a lot of viewers right now, obviously. So if you want to see it, just leave a comment down below. Oh, see, I gotta leave a comment down below, and I will answer your question and potentially even upload a more comprehensive video showing you this sort of stuff. So you do this sort of stuff, do whatever formatting you want. Now a Google Docs one is really good because everybody knows like how this is working. You're just scrolling through and you're talking about it. As long as your content is good, you're fine. If you want to get a bit more fancy with it, you can make a Google Slides. You'd also do like Gamma Docs and all this other shit, but I wouldn't worry about that. So one thing is, if I click on slideshow here, it's not going to work, right? Because when you create a Google slideshow, it by default, it takes up the entire screen. It goes full screen. I don't want it to go full screen because it won't display right in it. Like this size of the window needs to remain the same for my OBS setup to work, right? I've set it up close to my camera. So that's another thing. You want to have your actual script, right? The Google Doc, whatever you're reading from, close to the camera. So I have my camera literally pressed up against my monitor, right? It's literally physically touching my monitor. It's as close as it can be, because ideally it would be on top of the script, but then I wouldn't be able to read the script. So I have to have it as close to it as possible so that I can look over without it looking like I'm looking all the way over here. The reason I am is because right now is because I'm not actually filming a VSL. I'm showing you how to film a VSL. But when I'm actually filming the VSL, I'm not going to be looking over and clicking a bunch of shit. All I'll be doing at most is scrolling or clicking like the arrow key, the right arrow key on my screen. Anyway, so how you set this up here is you go to the slideshow, you go to presentation display options, and you turn off full screen. Okay, this is important. And then you can click start slideshow. You don't actually even have to. It'll keep that presentation. So when I go to click slideshow, okay, this is annoying. Maybe I was wrong on that. Presentation display option, not full screen, start slideshow. Okay, I guess you have to do it from there. Annoying. But see, now it's got literally only the one line of text that I want people to see at any given time, that I want to see at any given time. And literally all I'm going to do is read off of this. Okay, this is the easiest way to do it the first time you're doing it, because you aren't going to be comfortable. You aren't going to know what to say. You're going to forget. You're not going to be comfortable on camera. Like even me right now, there's a lot of things I know I can fix, but I've done this enough to know what better, like I've done better than this and I've done worse than this, right? And like the bar has risen consistently with the more camera work that I've done. The more I've talked into a camera, the better it's gotten. I'm by no means good, but this is like within just a couple of months of just doing, I don't know, a couple of videos every day or something. You're going to be worse if you've never done this before, but that's fine, right? Just do a new one like every week, right? If you can, just refilm it. Don't even have to rewrite it if you don't think it's necessary. Just refilm it. And that way you get a few more reps in. But I don't have any other slides here, so let me just make some more. So how to film a VSL. And let me actually just take the same information, right? So let's just copy paste this, copy here, go here. Now you just duplicate the slide. You just duplicate the slide and you don't care. You just do. Okay, that's annoying. We want to delete all that. Learn how to. Okay, we want to make sure that this is centered. How the heck do I center it? Boom. Oh. All right, well, that's fun. Thank you for being annoying. There we go. Beautiful. And now we actually want this to be the same size. We don't want it to be 30. We want it to go up to 40. And with this format, how to and you know, you don't need to do all this kind of messing around with formatting, because really what it should be is let me do this a little bit better. Paste without formatting. There we go. And now when I delete this, boom, right in the same spot. This video you will learn how to, right? And now we're actually gonna delete this one because this one was annoying. How do I delete the slide? How do I delete the slide? Am I tripping? Oh, it's right there. Delete. Okay. We duplicate this slide. Go in here. Paste without formatting. And you could just write it in. You know, you'd copy paste it from ChatGPT or whatever you had. Write the script. And then you just copy paste it in like this. It's a little bit more cumbersome than the Google Slides, right? With Google Sheets, you'd still have to do the formatting. You'd still have to do all of that, but it'd be in one place and you just scroll down. This one, you do need to copy paste and change it for each one. You could, however, just ask like Claude to build this out for you, right? You could have the slides, the script in the first place, and just tell it to turn it into this format. Right? Create a format like this, and just, okay, this is annoying the heck out of me. Okay. All right, buddy. How to set up OBS. Let's do one. How to set up OBS. And then we'll do duplicate slide. It's actually so much easier to just type it out again. Oh, this is annoying me. All right, whatever. Just delete that. There, good enough. Is it good enough? Yeah, it's good enough. How to set up OBS. Okay, see, I don't like this. All right, let's. My God, where did it go? I feel like I'm. Huh. To. Okay, let's go here. Doc. Google Slides. Let's move this down a little bit. Okay. Okay, so what this actually looks like in practice, it's a pain in the ass to set up. I would highly, highly, highly recommend not doing it yourself. Just write a Google document and just either use that directly because it's significantly easier to deal with, or write the Google Doc and then ask AI to turn it into slides for you. Do not do this yourself. As you could see, this was a pain in the ass. So now what this is actually going to look like, though, the reason I wanted to bring this up is because it's a really clean system, right? So right now you're seeing all of this stuff, but when I go into slideshow and then start slideshow, you only see exactly this, right? So it's like how to film. Oh, shoot. Okay. So now you're actually, if I was actually filming the VSL, I wouldn't say how to film a VSL. I would say like, it would be some sort of question to start with, maybe, right? Let's say like, are you having trouble doing XYZ, right? But in this case, I would literally set it up so that you're just literally reading off of this. So for demonstration purposes, just assume this is a good VSL script. This is not. This isn't even a VSL script, but assume it is. And this is how it would go. The video would start off and then it would go like this. How to film a VSL. In this video, you will learn how to, 1, how to set up OBS. I would have gotten rid of how to. 2, how to set up Google Slides for displaying your VSL contents. 3, blah, 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 blah. And then so on and so forth. The more of a VSL I have, you know what? Let me just pull up a example of a VSL script. Just give me an example. Okay, this is okay. No, this is dumb. Hey Claude, I need you to generate me an example VSL script. It should be 2 minutes, 5 minutes long, and I don't care about the ICP or any details. This is just for a demo on how to do the filming process, and I need to show a script. It's doing stuff. Here's a clean demo-ready VSL script for you. This is fun, isn't it? Good gosh, it is taking its sweet time. I was hoping it would just give me an output here rather than... Oh, here it is. Nice. Why would you do it this way, Claude? Who the hell asked for all this fancy shit? You know what I mean? But you know what? You could even just do this. As you're seeing right now, I could even just ask Claude, hey, make it nice and pretty so that I can just literally read off of it right here. Like, make an interface. You could ask it to do that. It's... Okay, yeah, that's pretty good. That's not bad. That's not bad. But, like, I couldn't just show this and, like, be reading off of it because this format doesn't make any sense, right? But common belief. Hey, Claude, I do not want you to write it in this weird, stupid format. Literally just give me the text for the entire script all in one as a script. And B, fill in all the placeholders. I don't want any placeholders. Just pick a niche, an industry if you need to, a pain point, whatever it is. I just want a script that I can literally read as a demo. It should be able to work as a real script, but I'm not concerned about the details. Okay, it just needs to be filled in. I'm using WhisperFlow, by the way, which captures my voice, and it's got AI and stuff, so it'll like get rid of a lot of middle bits. See, this is exactly what I wanted, right? Okay, it's saying dumb stuff. VSL fat laws for busy professionals. I need that. It knows me. Stupid fucking AI. Oh, that's funny. 5 minutes, 720 words. What if I told you that everything you've been taught about losing weight is completely backwards? Oh boy. See? You see? It gave me a version of it, which is neat. Okay. So now what I wanted to do, I should just want to download this. I want to go here, and let's say I don't need this anymore. And we go File, Open, we go Upload, Browse, Downloads, and it's not even in here. It's not even in here. Oh, here it is. Boom. Come on, you jerk. Okay, so I guess Google does not like... Oh, there it is. Beautiful. Okay. So you see, this type of script where you're literally just reading off of the thing, it can work okay in terms of just doing it straight off of Google Drive. There's nothing necessarily wrong with it. I wouldn't format it like this because they can't follow along. And preferably, if you're just doing that, you would have additional things to show, or you could write it like this, because it's attention grabbing at this point, right? And every single sentence, even though you're just saying it out loud, this is it. This is all your brain has to think about for this slide. This is it. And you're just going to read it out, and they're going to know this is what's happening after like 2-3 slides. But it's fine because it does work in terms of keeping your attention as long as the message is relevant. That's the biggest part of all this, is the message being relevant. This, what I'm showing you how to do it, is a few different ways that you may want to approach it. And And like I said before, it doesn't have to be OBS. You can use something like Loom. You can use something else. You do want your face on there, ideally. If you're doing some sort of service and you expect them to interact with you. If there's not going to be any interaction with you, you don't need this. A VSL doesn't necessarily have to be exactly like this, but this is the way to do it. So let's say I wanted to turn this into a slideshow where, okay, you know what? Let me just ask Claude to do that as well. Hey, can you turn this into a Google Slides slideshow where every slide has only text and only the text that you have in this script? I don't want a title page or anything about the runtime. I just want you to go straight into that first sentence. And essentially, I want each of these paragraphs to be their own slide. And I want all the content centered, and I want it to take up almost like a lot of the space, but I wanted to have good white spacing around it so it's not overwhelming. But essentially, I want 1 or 2 sentences per slide that it's essentially subtitles for what I'm going to be saying, which is I'm literally just going to be reading off the Google slide with my face alongside it. But I only want to show one snippet of that text at a time. Does that make sense? It just transcribes everything. It's really nice. So we go here, and yes, exactly, a teleprompter style presentation. Beautiful. Now I was going to do this. Then I'm going to open up inside of Google Slides, and then we're going to see how it looks. Hopefully it looks pretty good. Don't take too long, you jerk. Come on now, Claude. Speed it up. You're destroying the planet. You could at least be a little bit faster. Oh, man. I don't actually know the environmental impact of AI. Like, I know it's a lot. I know it's using a lot of energy, but like, I haven't seen a good comparison to, like, how much does it use compared to the automotive industry? How much does it use compared to, like, lighting your houses? How much does it use compared to manufacturing of, different types of products? It's a part of the conversation that I don't think people have really dived. I mean, I'm sure people have dived deep into it. And I was like Googling it about 4 or 5 months ago because I was talking to my cousin about it. And I couldn't find like concrete information on it, at least not from an easy Google check. And maybe that's being obfuscated by these big old companies, or maybe nobody's just done that work and everybody's saying it's so bad for the environment, which, don't get me wrong. I do think it's bad for the environment. It's just like, quantify this for me, please, compared to other stuff. Okay. See, look at that. That's beautiful. All right. So now I want to download this. It's downloaded. Beautiful. And now I'm going to, don't be a jerk. Let's go file, new presentation. Who cares? File, import slides, upload, boom, boom, boom. Look how easy this is. Okay. Select all slides, import slides. Beautiful. Slideshow. I don't know why I did such weird font, but here we go. So now assume I'm doing a VSL. Now, the key part, the part you should be spending a lot of time on, is not the formatting, it's not whatever, it's the actual content. Making sure you're targeting the right ICP properly, right? You don't want this to go to people that it's not relevant to. Like you're trying really, really hard to get your targeting and your messaging right so that this gets to the people you're most likely to actually be able to help out with this. And only those people are going to resonate with this message. Only people who are having this problem are going to resonate. So, starts off like this. Anyway, so the VSL would start like this. You'd set up the whole thing, you'd set it up like this, and then you'd start filming, and you just start reading, right? And you'll see my eyes will like transfer over a little bit. But because this is as close as possible, it's not going to be like I'm looking all the way over to this other half of my giant monitor, right? It's just here, which is a little bit, but it is what it is. There is also software you can use to, like, if you only move your eyes to look at it, there's software that literally, like AI software that makes your eyes stay in the same place. I've never used it. Seems like a hassle for something like this. But it is effective. I have seen people use it, and it just looks like, oh, this guy's an even better, like a really good presenter or whatever. He's getting every word right. So let me just show you what this looks like, right? So I'll just go through, read this. It'll take about 5 minutes, and here's how it'll go. I don't even know what it says, so this will be take one. What if I told you that everything you've been taught about losing weight is completely backwards? Most people are counting calories, dragging themselves to the gym 5 days a week, cutting out all the foods they love, and they're still not losing weight. They're exhausted, they're miserable, and they wonder what's wrong with them. Today, I'm going to show you exactly why that approach doesn't work and what to do instead. My name is James, and in the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through the exact method I used to drop 34 pounds in 90 days while working a 60-hour week. No crash diets, no gym membership, no willpower required. And I've since helped over 2,000 people do the same thing. If you're watching this, you've probably already tried a lot of things. Maybe you did keto for a month and lost some weight, then put it all back on the second you ate a second piece of bread. Maybe you hired a personal trainer and trained hard for 6 weeks, and then life got in the way, and maybe you've tried intermittent fasting, calorie tracking apps, meal prep Sundays, all that sort of stuff. And every time you end up right back where you started. So I'm going to pause here real quick. If you see, I've gone off script. And the reason I'm going off script is because I haven't practiced the script, right? I haven't gone through this. I'm reading it straight word for word. That is perfectly fine. I want you to understand that's perfectly fine for your first VSL. Your first VSL is going to suck. If I did a VSL right now, if I didn't spend a good amount of time even on the filming and like the rehearsing and doing that sort of stuff, it would suck, right? But you just want to do it anyway. The reason I'm going off script is because I've gotten comfortable enough, and I know that I just sound much better when I am not reading off a script, right? But I'm just going to get stuff wrong. I'm not going to know the content if I don't read off the script right now. Ideally, you just want to know what you're talking about well enough that you can use the script as a guide to keep you on the rails of where you want to be, but you want to fill it in and be pretty normal and casual and does not want to seem like you're selling, right? And I've just been doing this for a few months, these sorts of videos, and I've gotten a lot better at this. Like, you should see my first VSL. It's terrible. It was literally just, and every time you end up right back where you started, a little more frustrated, a little more convinced that maybe your body just doesn't respond the way other people's do. Like, I'm literally looking over here every word, right? So you might want to use the eye tracking thing, but honestly, even then, it's gonna suck because you haven't done it before. The more you do it, the better you'll get, just like anything else. Sound familiar? You are not alone, and I want to hear this clearly. I want you to hear this. See, I haven't read this, so I don't know. I want you to hear this clearly. It is not your fault. You did eat the food. You did not work out. Hey, I'm carrying a few extra pounds. I'm not, gonna pretend like this is somebody else's fault. Somebody didn't like feed me food. No, but it is difficult losing weight. The reason none of these things stuck is because they were all designed for people with unlimited time and zero stress. See, when I look directly into the camera, it looks a lot better than when I'm looking away, even just a little bit, right? Like this is a few inches. But it is hard unless you've practiced the specific script to not have to look over regularly. The whole point of this is just that it's close, so that when you do look over, you're able to, just glance at it rather than have to like stare at it. For me, because this is literally the first time I'm reading the script, I have to stare at it. Whew. Anyway, that was the video. I didn't want it to be this long. I feel like I've been filming for like a dang hour. But hopefully that shows you how you film a VSL script. Alright guys, hopefully this helps. If anyone wants some more advice or help, drop a question or comment in the chat and I will be happy to get back to you. I have a very small following. I answer all comments at this point in time, and I probably will continue to do so until I start getting like hundreds of comments per video, at which point I just probably won't be able to. But for now, yeah, shoot me a message. And that's really it. Hope you enjoyed the video this time.